That's Uncut View live and Uncut, and I'm your host, the guy who's styling, profiling, limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, son of a gun, John Arhitis, and we're talking the latest and greatest in Hudson County news. So, first of all, let's talk a little bit about Governor Murphy making his way over to the Mile Square City yesterday, over at Hoboken High School. Phil Murphy talked about lowering the voting age to 16 years old, making 16 and 17-year-olds eligible to vote in school board races statewide. So, a little bit about that and where that bill stands in the legislature. And I also had a chance to talk to him about a couple other topics, mainly being CarePoint Health and the center property with Jersey City. So I think you guys, fellow Jersey City residents, will be interested in hearing about that. So beyond that, we're also going to talk a little bit about the Soaring Heights Charter School. They got that National Blue Ribbon honor, so of course we want to acknowledge that. Also going to talk about the latest open house of the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection. Of course, that's regarding Liberty State Park. That was on Saturday. Some exciting news there about some new funding from the federal government. We're also going to talk, still Jersey City, about the ward maps. I mean, you remember this lawsuit was filed over 2 years ago. Well, looks like the Supreme Court is going to hear this after all, so we're going to chat about that. And also today, of course, we have a guest, and I'm joined with Ward E Councilman James Solomon, who's of course also running for mayor. So all that and a whole lot more right after this word from our sponsors.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Comprehensive healthcare is here, here, and here. RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its two newest locations, Hoboken and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
That's Uncut View live and Uncut. So let's talk a little bit about the governor. So basically, he's pushing this bill that is being sponsored by State Senators Raj Mukherjee and Brian Stack, of course, part of the Hudson County delegation. And on the Assembly side, the main sponsors are Assemblywoman Jessica Ramirez and Assemblywoman Cleopatra Tucker. And this is, again, to allow students throughout the state that are 16 and 17-year-olds to be allowed to vote in their local school board races. This is something that was already approved via referendum in Newark, and in the upcoming April election in 25, that will be the first opportunity for these high school kids to have an opportunity to vote. And, this is an effort, again, to make this not just in Newark, but across the entire state of New Jersey. So let me tell you an excerpt of something he said. So 16 and 17-year-olds voting in school board elections, and we would be the first American state to do that, and I think that's a huge potential badge and honor. I suspect you all agree with me. He said to applause. He talked with a government and politics AP class at Hoboken High School, and a few of them then came out to listen to him talk to the press for a few minutes. So beyond that, there's not too much else to say for the moment. The bills haven't really moved yet. They're both supposed to be heard in 2 respective committees in the New Jersey Senate and New Jersey Assembly. This effort, you guys might remember, began in August 2023. There was a group called Vote at 16, and they actually kicked off that initiative at Jersey City City Hall. And I mean, one of the people at the time that was spearheading the effort was Musab Ali, the former school board president that's running for mayor. Otherwise, I don't think there's really too much update. We heard from Mukherjee. He said this bill makes a lot of sense. No harm is resulted in other jurisdictions throughout Europe and Latin America and in the United States. California and Maryland have tried it. Voting is habit forming. If you start voting at 16, you're more likely to vote throughout the rest of your life and more likely to inspire others in your household, the adults, to vote. So that's where that's at for now. We'll see where this bill moves between now and the end of the year. So talking about Governor Murphy, as I mentioned at the top of the program, and as some of you guys probably saw yesterday, we talked about CarePoint Health. Obviously, we reported last month that they're going to they have begun financial restructuring talks, and Chapter 11 bankruptcy is a possibility. The employees, 2,602 to be precise, that's across Bayonne Medical Center, Hoboken University Medical Center, and Christ Hospital in Jersey City, have all gotten warn notices, which means they could be laid off in 90 days. And we've heard that Inshore Health and Hudson Regional Hospital might have a piece of the pie, so to speak. But talking to the governor, it didn't sound like any specifics were set in stone just yet. So what he said after I asked him about it, he said, this is something we're taking very seriously. I would almost venture to say that we're monitoring this on a minute-to-minute, certainly an hour-to-hour basis. The last thing we could afford, particularly in what is, I believe, is the most densely populated county in America, the last thing we can afford is a healthcare desert. We're committed to make sure that won't happen here. And he was clear that he really didn't have any specifics to share, but obviously clear that it was a priority. Other than that, I think we're just kind of waiting and watching, right? I mean, we heard about Jersey City Mayor Stephen Fulop and Hoboken Mayor Ravi Bala appointing themselves to that volunteer CarePoint board. Then there was this big meeting last Monday, at least it was touted as a big meeting, and then it doesn't sound like a whole heck of a lot happened. So, it looks like this is kind of stuck in political purgatory here, but as things shake and move, we'll tell you about it. And then the last thing from the governor was talking on the Pompidou, and he was pretty succinct with me on this, but I think his remarks are fairly clear. So on this topic, he said, I don't have much to say on the Pompidou. First of all, from the state standpoint, it was an unending loss position that in the projections we were working with never got better. And it would have been multiples, many multiples of what we put every year to say Liberty Science Center or NJ Pack in Newark. Again, just talking about the expense, as I'm sure you guys recall, back in June, New Jersey Economic Development Authority pulled their support completely. They said the project essentially was untenable. With that in mind, Murphy continued from a standing start that isn't justifiable. Having said that, we still love the project. I would just say for the folks in Jersey City, it's got to work for the locals. That to me is the test. Does it work for the local folks there? And God bless them. Again, we love the project, but we're not going to sign up for an unending, significant loss that is forever and always. As you guys remember, last week, exactly 1 week ago actually, Jersey City Council approved the tax abatement at 808 Pavonia Ave for the KRE group, and that's a 30-year abatement, passed 6-3. Councilman Rich Baggiano, Frank Gilmore, James Solomon all voted no. And look, we know the history well at this point. We've talked about it so many times, but just a quick recap. In June 2021, there was a virtual press conference with Jersey City Mayor Stephen Fulop, Governor Murphy, and First Lady Tammy Murphy, and they touted what a cultural institution this would be for the state, not just Jersey City. And, there wasn't a whole heck of a lot of movement between then and now. The only notable thing that I can recall, well, two actually, $24 million allocation from the state budget in 21, and also the council approved a preliminary memorandum of understanding. Obviously, that didn't end up meaning a whole heck of a lot in the scheme of things. And, here we are this year. Obviously, we had that vote that I just spoke of. We had the EDA development I just mentioned. And, out of nowhere, a month ago, Fulop gave an editorial to the Hudson County View, and the ball got rolling, and I guess that's where we're at right now. So, Murphy didn't touch on the accusations made by Fulop. Of course, he said that this project got tanked because he supported Andy Kim for U.S. Senate instead of Tammy Murphy. And he also didn't comment on the new location or the abatement or really any other specific aspects of the plan. So with that, folks, don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back, and I'm going to be sitting down with Jersey City Ward E Councilman James Solomon, a candidate for mayor.
Good Friend Self Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer a Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Hudson County View live at Uncut. John Arhitis, as I mentioned a few moments ago. Today my guest is Jersey City Ward E Councilman James Solomon, a candidate for mayor. Councilman, thanks for coming in.
John, thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure. So, look, so in your kickoff speech, obviously, like, you were pretty pointed about, like, this is what I've done, this is why you could trust, my record, and, this is basically why I'm not Jim McGreevey. I mean, if you didn't say it exactly like that, but for those of us paying attention, that was the message. So why did you decide to go with that right out the gate?
Sure, I think I'm running for mayor because Jersey City deserves a government as good as its people. It deserves development that works for the people of the city, that delivers affordable homes, parks, public schools. And we're not going to shy away from the fact that we think there will be a clear choice in the election, and a choice of, do we have more of the same kind of New Jersey politics as usual, or do we vote for change, right? And we vote for a government that is focused day to day on the lives of the people of Jersey City and making them better. So, we're going to detail, and I'm very proud to detail both the work I've done and my positive vision, but not going to shy away from what we think the choice for voters is going to be.
Fair enough. So, not to harp on McGreevey, but obviously when he had this fundraiser with Ocean County GOP Chair George Gilmore, you guys were pretty pointed and, punching him in the mouth, right? Like, you did it twice in a 24-hour period. So why did you think that was important to highlight?
Absolutely, because it highlights that exact choice, right? That George Gilmore, right, more of the same, right? This is a Trump boss in South Jersey, a guy who uses the political system to enrich himself, and who's looking at the taxpayers of Jersey City and saying, hey, I can jack up the property taxes on these guys to fund my own political machine in South Jersey. That's not what we need in Jersey City, right? That's not the leadership, that's not the change that folks are asking for. They're asking for folks that are going to keep their property taxes stable, that are going to deliver more affordable homes, that are going to focus on filling potholes and picking up trash, not partnering with bosses across the state. So, we wanted to make sure to highlight that's not what we think Jersey City voters want.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Now, Jersey City PSOA president, he came out with a fairly strongly worded letter after you announced, a couple days after, and basically he said your progressive policies are going to push the city so far to the left, it's going to be like another Portland or Seattle, and it's just going to be chaos. I mean, so what do you think about that?
Yeah. So, I've been in Hudson County politics now for a little bit, so I'm sort of used to kind of the silly season, and it's starting a little bit early. The author of the letter is a Republican politician, and we think he's using this to advance his Republican politics in Morris County. For me, if I'm elected mayor, my number one job is to keep the residents of the city safe. And we do that by investing in public safety, investing in police, and investing in the broader community to ensure that we have an all of the above strategy to keep residents safe. So, silly season came a little bit early, 13 months out before the election, but I'm proud to, over the course of the campaign, we're going to release our public safety plan, as well as all of our kind of policy plans, and be able to take that to voters and earn their trust that I'm the right person to lead the city.
Now, the people that haven't supported your council campaigns and, not going to support your mayoral, they seem to have this mindset that you're a, socialist, defund the police guy. So, where do you think this came from? And what is like your current stance on public safety and law enforcement?
Yeah, politics, right? I've been very clear, not a socialist, have never used the phrase defund the police. I've always been very, very clear that we need a well-funded police force. And we need a well-funded community to have both violence interrupters, after-school programs, the types of things that ultimately lead to what we had this summer, which was a summer without a homicide in Jersey City. So extraordinarily committed to public safety. We need to invest in more community policing. We need more police officers on the street, more police officers in our patrol division. We're going to detail that policy proposal. But look, it's politics, right? I threaten the political machine. I threaten the guys who are raising the residents' property taxes to profit themselves. So they're going to throw everything at me, and that's fine. We signed up for it, and we're going to deliver this really positive vision for Jersey City, where the city government, from development to filling potholes, works for the residents of the city.
All right, very good. So on a more policy-based conversation, the Pompidou, you were very clear. Within 24 hours, you had your position. I'm not going to support a tax break. And, you stuck to your guns. You voted no both times. It was a 6-hour meeting. It got pretty loud. Some of your colleagues even went back and forth. Obviously, you were there. But it's not over yet, though. So with this, what happens next, and what would you like to see happen if you were mayor?
Yeah, absolutely. As you said, I thought the abatement was a mistake, right? At the end of the day, that abatement itself is going to cost the taxpayers $120 million. The overall cost of the museum, when you add the build out and you add the operating costs, we're talking hundreds of millions of dollars. And I think that is just a mistake for the city. And I think these sort of tax breaks for luxury developments is not the right way for go as a city. I ran back in 2017, focused on we need to get away from tax breaks for luxury developments. In my time, until this project, hadn't done one, right? And so I did think it was a mistake. Where do you go going forward? On day one, if I get to be mayor, you can't move forward with a plan that is financially irresponsible. So we have to see what the finances look like at that time, but based on what was presented to me, I don't have confidence that we will have the financing to move forward with a Pompidou Museum, and you have to just reassess at that point. But obviously didn't think it was the right direction for the city and was disappointed ultimately that the council voted in favor of it.
Fair enough. Councilman, don't go anywhere. Folks, don't go anywhere. We're just going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design studio and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
You live at Uncut, John Arhitis, and I'm still here with Jersey City Ward E Councilman James Solomon, a candidate for mayor. So throughout this meeting and really throughout this process, mostly towards the end, but it wasn't very long. Anyway, like we heard a lot about this white box, and we heard, oh, we need like a rec center and we need more stuff for the kids. So like to you, like what does this mean, owning the white box, and like what does a rec center or anything else there look like?
Yeah, and that was why it was a mistake to rush into this, right? Do we need a rec center in Jersey City? Yes. Do we need one that's accessible to mass transit? Yes. But we didn't need to rush into a 100,000 square foot white box given through a tax break to a developer, right? We needed to be thoughtful and plan out where do we want it and how do we get it in the most responsible way possible. And that's where you saw the argument shifting. Well, it was Pompidou, but then by the end it was the white box. And I think when voters see that, they say, look, you don't have your ducks in a row. And that's our taxpayer money that's being expended, and in this case, hundreds of millions of dollars. So ultimately, I very much will work towards getting a new rec center in the heart of Jersey City. Could it be this location? Of course it could, but it's a little bit half-baked at this point, and it's going to be on, ideally my administration to find the right place for it and make sure we have that opportunity for youth in Jersey City.
Okay, now quick clerical point. I mean, a lot of people seem confused, and honestly, I'm not even really sure. So I'll ask you, like, did you guys get a clear cost of what this is going to be yet?
So, we were given a projected operating budget, so that's once the museum is open.
Yeah, I saw the 10-year plan.
This 10-year plan of where it will go. We were given a sort of rough estimate of the tax break, right? So, it roughly would be 8 million, a little less than 8 million, and the projection is would be getting 4 million. So every year you're going to get 4 million less, roughly, but based on some assumptions, right? And then we were never really given a projection for the build out of the museum. We were told that there's a wide range of estimates that ultimately could go down. And so for me, when you have that degree of uncertainty on an extraordinarily important decision, the vote is a no. And so we never were given, we were given some details, but never the clear, what's the build out going to cost, things of that nature.
Okay, thanks for that. Now, I hear from some people that again are undecided or maybe don't support you, and they're like, well, I like James or I don't like James, whatever. They're like, I'm worried about.
Hopefully they like me. We'll try.
Yeah, they're like, I'm worried this is going to be a fourth full of terms. So like, people that have that trepidation, what would you say to that?
Yeah, so I'm proud to stand on my record, right? The record as a councilman for the last 7 years, and the record and the vision for the future of Jersey City. Now, I've done something that no politician in Hudson County has done, including Mayor Fulop, which has promised not to take donations from Jersey City real estate developers. Right? Too often we see the development process hijacked by political considerations. If a developer makes a donation to the right politician or the right account, all of a sudden they get an approval that's not in the best interest of the city. Now, in 2017, I was the first one to do that, since there have been others who have done that. That separates me from my opponents in the race for mayor. It separates me from Mayor Fulop. It separates me from pretty much everybody in Hudson County. And I think that is about delivering a government that works for residents of Jersey City and delivering change, right? The residents do not want more of the same New Jersey politics as usual. Too often they've been given that. Too many folks are promising that in the future with just a different facade. And I'm promising real, genuine change for residents in Jersey City.
In the event that he makes an endorsement in this race and you guys end up on the same page, is that an endorsement you'd be happy to accept?
So look, I'm focused on my race right now. We have November of 2025. Obviously, the mayor's focused on his gubernatorial race, right? Focusing on the issues that matter to the residents of the city. And they're focused on what's my plan on property taxes, what's my plan on affordable homes. That's our focus.
Fair enough. Yeah. Now, CarePoint Health, obviously it's important in Jersey City, Christ Hospital. I drive by almost daily, and a lot of jobs at stake. And of course, nobody wants a hospital to close. So, I mean, a lot of things are up in the air, right? But what could you commit to, or what could you tell us today about that? Like, if, once we get to 25 and beyond.
Yeah, absolutely. I was appreciative of Governor Murphy's remarks yesterday about the importance of keeping Christ Hospital, the importance of the access to health care and the underserved communities that CarePoint serves. So we need to maintain that access to care. I think one of the ways we got into this mess was the prior owners of CarePoint acting as vulture capitalists, treating it as, in essence, a resource to extract money from, right? Whether that be ground leases, whether that be equipment, and not as a core community institution. So I think obviously in the future we have to make sure that the leaders of our core healthcare institutions have this broader vision of access to care for every community in Jersey City, and not a pure, we are trying to get as much money out of this as possible without caring about the long-term ramifications of that.
All right, and then just only got a minute or so. So anything like you're working on in Ward E or anything you want to talk about your campaign just on the way out here?
Sure. So a couple things we're really proud of. Councilman Gilmore and I just announced a new ordinance to create a local preference for Jersey City residents in affordable homes in Jersey City. It's going to apply to over 1,000 affordable homes in Jersey City. Previously, there was a basically preference for anybody in the region. So we could go for Bergen County, Passaic, and Newark. And while we respect that the affordable housing needs are regional, if Jersey City is investing its resources into creating new affordable units, there should be a preference for Jersey City residents. We think this is going to help keep, ultimately, hundreds and potentially up to thousands of Jersey City residents in our city. That's the government people want, right? They want a government that is focused on their needs and their lives. So Councilman Gilmore and I are partnering on this piece of legislation. It'll be up for final vote at our next council meeting, I think our second council meeting in October. And that's the type of work that I want to basically continue as councilman and then do as mayor.
Councilman, thank you so much.
Thank you, John. I appreciate it.
Good luck. We'll talk to you soon. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. We're not done yet. We'll be right back.
Comprehensive healthcare is here, here, and here. RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its two newest locations, Hoboken and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
Good Friend Self Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Panepinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panepintodevelopment.com. Panepinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Hudson County View live at Uncut. John Arhitis. Let's talk about what's going on at the New Jersey Supreme Court of all places. Well, they're going to hear this appeal on the municipal ward maps in Jersey City. Of course, you know, this lawsuit was filed a couple years ago, and you know, they had this large group called Jersey City United against the new ward map. Obviously, weren't looking for a flashy name. But the important part is the appellate division about 6.5 months ago reinstated one count of a lawsuit alleging that the municipal ward law was violated. You know, they're saying that this is basically just an improper map because it didn't properly allocate the boundaries of each ward, all 6 wards of Jersey City. So, in a letter from Bill Massacutis, who's co-counsel in the case for the plaintiffs, this is to Hudson County Superior Court Judge Joseph Tarula, he said, from the plaintiff's perspective, a hearing to examine members of the Ward Commission should continue for the reasons that we have previously argued and because the testimony from Such a hearing could provide a factual record for the Supreme Court to consider when rendering its decision regarding compactness. So I think that's a pretty good summation in just a few words there. Don't forget that Frank Educational Gilmore is kind of spearheading this effort, and he definitely lost, you could say, in the rewarding process. He used to have areas that included like the Liberty Science Center and a few other projects. They're no longer in the ward, they were moved to Ward A. So that's part of the reason that he brought this lawsuit. And I mean, there's over a dozen other people who have put their names on this, but they're just going by, the folks against the ward map, that specific name I just mentioned a couple moments ago. And Tarula ruled in favor, and what that means is amicus briefs are due on November 12th, and responses to the briefs are due on December 4th. So we should get a ruling on this by the end of the year. What does that mean? Well, frankly, I don't know, because this hasn't ever happened before, but there's not a heck of a lot of case law on this. And given that we're already well into the next election cycle, I would be surprised if something significant or dramatic happened. But again, we're in uncharted waters, so we're just going to keep our eyes peeled, and when we know something, we will let you know. Now, a couple more things on Jersey City here. Now, lost in the Pompidou debate is the council actually voted to unanimously dissolve the Municipal Construction Board of Appeals at that meeting last week. This happened within the first hour of the meeting or so. You heard a few people speak out. Of course, there's a lot of disdain among the construction worker community, the labor community, against Sunny Kumar. He was the former chair of the board. And we heard from Chris Capers. He's a member of Luna Local 3. He's been pretty outspoken on this project. And he said, this isn't just about one bad contractor or one bad project these days. Development in Jersey City relies on worker exploitation. So while serving as the chair of the Construction Board of Appeals, Sunny Kumar allowed workers to be underpaid, overworked, exposed to dangerous conditions on his job sites. So that gives you a little insight into what exactly we're talking about here. Now, this was actually a year and a half in the making. The first reading on this passed in 23. Let me see what month that was there. I believe that was March of 23, but then we never heard about it again until the council put this up in August of this year. So kind of unusual, but that's where we ended up on this one. And interestingly, Kumar came to the meeting and he actually just gave maybe a 20-second speech, if that, and he said, as I said last time, I'm paraphrasing, I want you to get rid of the board. So that's what they did. And now, instead of going to the Jersey City Municipal Construction Board of Appeals, you're going to go to the county. So something to keep in mind going forward. And then, of course, Liberty State Park, as I mentioned. Just quickly about that $7.3 million coming from the federal government. Basically, we heard from Sean LaTourette. Of course, he's the DEP commissioner, and he said, thanks to Congressman Rob Menendez's efforts in Washington, we've secured an additional $7.3 million for the work here. It's an award from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. Of course, most call it the NOAA, from what's called the Biden-Harris administration's Climate Resilience Challenge. So obviously, there's no such thing as a bad grant, right? So, a lot of people were in attendance were happy about that. And Menendez was there as well, and he said, briefly, we're working to bring federal funds back for some of the resiliency components of it, which is obviously a priority of the Biden-Harris administration, working with the state in any way we can to bring those dollars to the project. So, certainly good news if you're a fan of this revitalization project. Of note, nobody from the Paul Fireman camp attended this meeting. That was on Saturday. And on Hoboken for a second, there's this interesting case, the Hoboken Municipal Employees Association suing the city. They're alleging that their collective bargaining agreement was violated over the terms of a rehire given to an employee December 2020. You remember, for those of you that are really following closely, just before the pandemic, Hoboken started talking about layoffs in 2020. They gave out, that was 76 layoff notices, if I'm not mistaken, and, 79. And it ended up being 26, and one of those people was a woman by the name of Anne Marie Sacco, worked for the city for 17 years. She was a keyboarding clerk, and she got laid off, and they brought her back, and essentially they didn't want to give her any benefits. An arbitrator decided that the ruling was improper, but they said that her salary could stay the same, and she didn't get any, paid sick leave, and a couple other finer points there. So an interesting lawsuit that has already gone before the New Jersey Civil Service Commission. So interested to see how that ends up. Extremely quickly, Soaring Heights Charter School in Jersey City recognized for the Blue Ribbon Honor. Only 11 schools in the state of New Jersey received this designation, and this was one of them. And there was a short press conference that had Mayor Fulop, Commissioner O'Day, Council President Waterman, Councilwoman Ridley and Assemblywoman Barbara McCann-Stamato, to name a few. So congratulations to them. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call it a week. We'll see you next time.